Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, January 6th, 2022. Welcome back. It's been a nice little break. A little bit of travel hiccup on Tuesday. Sorry I missed that session. Was not available for that session. All right, and that's a little bit early for the YM. Set up 3 minutes early. Good morning, Miles. Good morning, Dennis. Do say hello so I know who's in the room. So we'll have, at least at the moment, we'll have to wait for a new setup. Crude oil didn't have a very good morning this morning, unfortunately. The 9 a.m. session. This long was just a little too early. About 40 seconds before our start, and had gone too far. And I tried to catch it, and it was just up above the entry and never came back. So missed that one. Then we get the short. The initial hit was a little too quick to catch. Then we got it hit the entry again right here. Probably a good adjustment would have been to come to 79.97, get one tick beyond this initial spike, and that would have kept you out. But if you got in, that was the first trade. Then you reverse into this long trade at 18. And that wanders around, comes back, and then reverses you again at 80.04. That hits money management. Actually, that pushes the money management down to target at 94, and we pick up a 10 tick target. So basically, we go with an entry from at 99. You'd have lost 19. So down 38. 18 to 04 would have been another 14. So down 66. And you pick up a 10 tick target and one tick on the trailer. Yeah, it unfortunately never gets to trail beyond the one tick. So down 55 ticks on the morning, not a good day. All right, okay. While we're looking at that, the YM didn't trigger the long, triggered the short. That's a small short, and yeah, it's still 31 tick target. So that would have been a target short, and with a target one and a one tick, 32 tick target, one tick on the stop, and that's POQ for the YM this morning. Here is our first day heating oil trade. We are currently at break even there. And trying to push down on the target. looks like we have a new short on the pound Aussie. This initial get in sync went to stop because we didn't ever get in. There's target achieved. The scalp target is achieved on heating oil. And it looks like we have a long. It was a get in sync. And we did get in sync with that. Hit all three targets and trail in between target 1 and 2. Trail up to 1384. So one and done session on soybeans this morning. And the pound Aussie quickly getting us to money management. All right. Stop out at 1 tick on heating oil and trying to go back the other way and taking a full stop out. The YM is POQ, soybeans is POQ, unleaded gas. Took the short. I've noticed that spreads are a little bit wide for the beginning of the year on the pound Aussie. Mine are running up around 3 to 3.5 ticks, or 3 to 3.5 tips. I suspect some folks are running even higher than that. So we had the short that just meandered about, finally stopped and reversed back to long. And that would have, stop and reverse adjustment would have been up to, plus key level would have been 32.21. And unfortunately took a full stop on that. And now we have a new long on unleaded. 3171, I would imagine. Yeah, 3171. unleaded is long. Not much going on this morning. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Dan. And unleaded taking some heat now. Looks like the pound Aussie got down to touch target 2, that is. So 2 positions would come off. And the stop at 88. Penetrated the 50 and is having some trouble getting down away from it, but keeps bouncing off of it when it comes up. So that's good for the trade. And it looks like another full stop out on heating oil. And coming down for another touch of the target 2 on the pound Aussie. In the long on unleaded. Take a quick look at the unleaded catapult. That's an 8:45 start, I believe. It's been a while since I've been on the charts. All right, so that's our first trade. Then is a full loss, as is the second. The two full losses out of the gate probably takes that to a stand aside. And third trade is a solid target and gets a little bit of a trailer. Another full stop, and then the short gets full target and trailer not quite down to target one. And we should be done, certainly be done. There's another good short after a long takes us out once again. But yeah, the short is there's a short that's the trade of the morning. Not on a great day on there either. See if we can salvage something from the and heating oil. Now with the short that's at money management. And getting, I believe, target. Yep, that was target. So the fixed target achieved on that trade. Have to see if we can get some movement this time. So we should be just about even right now. Actually, no, we're going to be down just a little bit. We had the trailing positions with two losses and then just two break evens. And unleaded goes back to short. And hitting money management. Unleaded with a short at 31.29 with the stop and reverse and key level. Soybeans with another strong long trade. All three targets and a strong trailer going through session highs. And actually, the session opened just one tick below that session high. So soybeans has been in negative territory the whole session and is now going positive. And looks like heating oil stopping out for one tick on the trailer again. Didn't pick up any extra there. Looks like a tough morning. I've got YM and soybeans one and done. Unleaded's having a tough time with a couple of stop and reverses. Actually, a stop and reverse, a full stop, second stop and reverse, and we're in the short on trade number 4. Stop has moved down to 31.31. Actually, it's down at 31.28 because of the stop, and now moves down to 26. So we've hit money management, but no targets. And it looks like the pound Aussie is trying to stop. Yep, pound Aussie just stopped out. Yeah, the spreads would indicate a little bit more volatility in the pound Aussie lately. As we were seeing, at least I was seeing, 1.5 pips for a while, a couple of 3 months ago, and now I'm seeing 2.5 to 3.5 pip spread. 31.17 for unleaded stop. Let's see if bean oil is following in the same lines as soybeans. And it looks like bean oil is in a trade from early morning. It definitely went too far. So we're waiting for and it's flat now, so we're waiting for a new setup there. Make sure that's loaded there. And unleaded stopping out with a small partial. Before finally starting to move down now, it looks like. the energy's not being a very good market to be in this morning, it looks like. Having trouble. I haven't been trading the Russell in a while, Dennis. I haven't got Troy's still working on the Russell catapult, and we really haven't traded the Russell in several months, because we just haven't found a chart that we really trust late since COVID happened. The major volatility around the beginning of COVID, it really started out, and we haven't found it since then. The 8-tick momentum bar at that point was just way too fast, and we haven't found a chart that we really like the results of since then. Although I think Troy is having some good success with his catapult. And I'm looking forward to boot camp coming up on that, as I'm sure everyone else is. See what he has there. I imagine I'll be getting it to test probably in the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to, obviously, he looks like he's working with some Renko, some of the TradeStation custom Renko bars. So I'm going to start working with Unirenko a little bit, since that's a free customizable Renko bar for NinjaTrader. Ninja has just standard Renko bars, but nothing custom, unless you pick up an additional Ninja script bar type, of which Unirenko is one of several. But I'm going to try to test with that and see if it will test reasonably well on see if it will test properly on our trade setups. If not, I may have to look at some other bar type. But I think the problem with back testing Renko bars that are discussed a lot are more based upon setups off of, or entries off of the open of bars, which obviously I do understand the issue with that and Renko bars, but the way we do our trade setups, I don't think that's going to be an issue with back testing. So I think Unirenko may very well be just as good a solution as anything else, and it will give us some good ways to play with the Renko bars a little bit and look at the same kind of bars that Troy's looking at on TradeStation. And what he was showing yesterday in the trade room was that he was showing a 1.5 point or 15 tick brick size with a 1/3 offset. So basically it proceeds 5 ticks at a time. So 5 ticks for each bar. and the open is at 5 ticks, or actually 10 ticks below the below or above the close, depending on long or short bars. Yes, you can run Unirenko on counterpunch. Unirenko is a bar type that you can run with any strategy. It will work just fine with Troy's strategies. But it's just a custom programmed bar type. But you can still use NinjaScript based strategies as well. And 10 o'clock. So we're looking for new trades on crude oil. And heating oil with another short. Not heating oil, leaded gas. $3.067 for the short. See if trade number 5 can get us a little bit more success. And unfortunately, that looks like it's a stop out. Stop at 31.06, and we did hit 31.06. So more red ink on energy this morning. I did there was a user group on Telegram a little while ago that I pulled up. I think maybe 4 or 5 choices for Renko bars. Unirenko was one of them, and there was I think there was another free bar and a couple of that you can be purchased, and a couple of articles. But reading those articles, yeah. Sorry about that, Don. But I'm running into apparently a bottleneck on my end this morning. Most mornings right now, especially come about 10 o'clock. Which chart did you want to take a look at? I can put it full screen. And this would definitely be the last trade of the morning, trade number 6 on unleaded. All right. Take a look. And I would tend to, I'm thinking I would adjust that unleaded entry up above the 20 SMA. And actually, we're still in the short. Oh, no, my. That's something I got to ask Will about. That's this. I've noticed a couple of times that price action has touched the stop and it actually hasn't shown that. It's actually showing the trade still active. All right, let's take a look at the 8-range crude chart. Nothing so far for the 10 a.m. session. Not very active this morning because here was your 9 o'clock session right back here. Those 3 trades. Not much going there. Any particular questions, Don? Donald? And there's our first trade of the 10 a.m. session. 79.46 on a long. And then popping back down. Let's also keep an eye on what's happening on the yeah, that would have been a nice short, but OSOB said oversold at that point. So that's why we didn't get a short, and it was a little too far. The exhaustion dots were too far off of the 200 EMA to pick up a trade off of that. Because if you look down at the histogram down here, you see that you had a blue. The last bar above the 0 line was a blue, which means it's oversold and looking for longs, not shorts. And we are closest exhaustion dots come is $79. $79.91 for the exhaustion dots, and the EMA is at 83. So we're 8 ticks off of the EMA, so too far, not within our 4 tick proximity to pick up a trade there, and no other exhaustion dots on the way down. Possibility of a short off of these exhaustion dots, but this long trade cancels those out. And now we have a short at 34. If you're in the long, that's a stop and reverse at 32. And touching money management and stopping out for a tick. Getting a second short and one just shy of a stop on that one. All right, let's go back and take a look and see what unleaded was doing. And the 200 EMA trade on unleaded got us a full target and full target plus on the trailer. So that probably got us to positive on trade number 6. All right. Any other questions this morning? I will be right back. I checked something with Melinda, but I'll be right back and continue looking at where we are. But yeah, the only thing running right now then is going to be another break-even trade. So that's 2 break-evens on crude Actually, but that's the third trade anyway. So 2 break evens if you didn't get the first trade, or 3 trades. So that's the 10 a.m. session. So yeah. Any other questions this morning? Put them in and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, that's going to be just a function of my bandwidth. For some reason, AT&T is not being very friendly with the bandwidth on this end, even though it's a gigabit up and down, supposedly. Micro ES this morning. Yeah, looks like successful short on the 8:35 session. This is the catapult. I'm of course running Eastern time. Exchange time for the micro ES is Central, so it would be 8:35 Central, 9:35 Eastern. Our start time is right here. There's the short at 46.8250. That's a big trade too, and it's hit target 1 for 13.25 points. 43 ticks to target 1. You too, Pamela. Have a good weekend. But that looks like, and it did stop out for a 1 tick break even, so 13.25 to target 1, 20 points to target 2. So that's 80 ticks. No, 50, 53 and 80. So 133 ticks plus additional 2 positions at 1 tick. So 135 ticks this morning on micro ES. That's not huge, but of course you wouldn't be trading most likely wouldn't be trading single contracts on that. You'd have a few contracts. That would be a good morning on the micro ES. Any other questions this morning? Energy's just kind of giving us trouble this morning. The YM was quick to get things done, and so was soybeans. Soybean oil not giving us any trades at this point. Nothing there. We had the one break even, or target 2 touched, and getting filled on that one would have been the issue on those 2 positions. The spread, because that's you'd be trying to set your exit to account for spread. And unfortunately, when we get as high as 3 ticks of spread, it gets that's what I was talking about, Don. Is especially around 10 o'clock. It tends to get worse when I'm trying to watch Troy. I'll just sit there and buffer and buffer and buffer, and I'll lose minutes after 10 o'clock. If I don't keep pushing myself to the live, I'll be 5-10 minutes behind by the end of the Troy sessions that go beyond 10 o'clock. And there's a 9 a.m. session trade. That's right. 9:30 is our start time. So that trade looks like it may go too far coming into 10:30 here. All right, then. I believe that's going to wrap it up for today. And should be back onto a regular schedule next week. I will try to work on getting some Renko charts set up so we can at least take a look at some of those. Maybe take a look at the micro NQ, and I will see if I can see if Troy has the catapult Russell ready for me to start taking a look at and testing on NinjaTrader before release. Looking like January 25th for the boot camp. Everyone have a wonderful day and a good weekend and good trading tomorrow. Be careful of the beginning of the year spreads on currencies. They're being, at least pound Aussie seems to be being a little bit unusually wide. Yeah. And now crude decides it's going to be successful, as is unleaded. There's a target 1 on crude. But the 10 a.m. session is already complete. And everyone have a good afternoon and a good weekend.